Alright, what's good, freaking losers? Today we are learning about limit orders versus market orders. And I'm actually glad I'm making this video because I didn't even plan on making this video. Someone commented on another YouTube video asking if I could, and it was actually a very good idea because I market order and limit order essentially like 50-50 at the time. It really just depends on how price is moving, where price inverted the gap, and so on and so forth. So yeah, without further ado, this is going to be a fairly quick video, but let's get right into it. So limit orders versus market orders. What is a market order? Well, it's when you just manually enter a trade. All right, so say my buy button is right here and I want to buy 5 shares. I press buy. That is a market order. Okay, so literally plain and simple, when you manually enter the trade, if you're on Top Step, you press sell. You're manually entering the trade. You market ordered it. Okay. And then what is a limit order? Well, you pick You pick a price point, and once price hits that area, you get thrown into a trade. So what does that mean? Say price is like this, right? And I want to short, but I'm waiting for price to come up here. Okay. So I'll set a limit order at this area right here. So once price comes back up and taps this general area, it'll throw me into a short trade. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Pretty freaking simple. The way to do it on here is going to be, if you're on trading view, you're literally just going to press limit. You're going to put what price you want to limit at, how many contracts, and then just set your take profit and stop loss area. But you literally just go to limit, and then this is market. Same thing for market, except you just set your take profit and stop loss because, again, you're manually entering. This, you need to pin a price point to when you're going to get thrown into a trade. Okay. And then if we go on over to Top Step here, let's go to Top Step real quick. If we go on over to Top Step, let's say I want to limit sell. All you would do is just right click, and then you're going to limit sell, and then however many contracts you want to for that day or for that trade. Okay. And then same thing with buy, right? You just go below price, right? And you want to limit buy. Okay. So if we set a limit buy order right here, all right, once price comes down into this area, I don't have my normal settings on here. Well, once price comes down into this area, then you will be thrown into a long, and then you can do whatever the hell you want from there. Okay, pretty freaking simple. Now let's move on over to when you should and when you shouldn't do it. Okay, so I trade inversions. So all I'm looking for is for the fair value gap to get inversed, and then I'm entering, right? Stops are mostly going at the swing highs or the SMT highs, whatever the fuck. And then most of my take profits are like unfilled gaps internally, internal highs or lows, depending on which way we're going, right? So say our TP target is right here, and this is our inversion. Well, there's no need to set a limit order. Why? Well, because it almost inverses this gap perfectly, right? So there's no reason to limit order. We can just market order this, throw our stops at the highs, and then throw our take profit area to our target, right? But say price comes down, and this would be a 1 to 1.2 RR trade, and that's exactly what we're looking for. But say price comes down and we invert this gap all the way the hell down here, right? And this is the candle closure. Well, you don't want to fucking enter off this closure. Why? Well, because you're getting a 0.28 RR trade. Unless if you want to do that, sure thing, buddy. Go ahead. But I'm not entering on a 0.28 RR trade. So what would I do? I would then set a limit order at the inversion, okay? Because what have we learned over this entire Beginner's Blueprint course? What happens with inversions? Well, I want to say 9 times. Maybe like 7 times out of 10, price comes up, retaps that inversion, and continues lower, right? So say price closes right here. Okay, cool. If it goes to our take profit first, then whatever, right? Price ran without us. It wasn't a good entry anyway, so we're just going to delete the limit order. It's that simple. But if price comes up and taps us into the order first, then boom, we're in an order now. Since we limit sold it, right? Because we want to short, so we're going to limit sell. Our stops are going to go at the highs, and our take profit is going to go at our take profit target. Now look at our RR. So 1.16, and that's literally exactly what we're looking for every single time when we trade, right? Is a 1-to-1 or above, okay? So we only limit order when the inversions are absolute dog shit. And most of the time, here, I'll write this down for you. So most limit orders I take are on the 3 to 5 minute IFVGs, right? If all we need is a 1 minute for value gap to get ran through, well, most of the time it'll look like this. Yeah, sometimes, okay, it will be like this, which is fine. Again, we'll just set a limit order, completely fine. But if we're waiting for like a 5 minute or a 3 minute or 4 minute to get closed beneath, those are like, there's a lot of price action going on in those candles. Why? Because, well, it's 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes worth of price action. A lot of shit can happen within that time. So most of the time with those like higher low time frame inversions, they will look something like this. So in this scenario, we would set a limit order right here. Let's just go ahead and do this. We'll set a limit order at the inversion. That's where you'll mostly want to set limit orders at, is the inversion, right? And we'll set it at the bottom, okay? Because just the entry point to the version. Now, if we're going long, you would set the shit right there, right? Say we inverse the bearish for value gap. Well, we would wait for price to come down, tap this area, and then go long. But for our bearish example, it's just going to be the entrance point of the inversion. So we set it right here. What do? We wait for price to come up, tap us into the order. So instead of entering all the way the heck down here, right, and getting a dog shit RR trade, well, now we're entering up here, and instead of being in mad drawdown and letting our emotions take over, well, our RR is a lot better. We're not risking as much. We're barely in drawdown now, and we're making more money on the trade. So it's a win-win for everything, right? And like I said, if price runs to the TP without you, okay, without tapping your limit order, then so be it. We're deleting the limit order. The limit order no longer matters. Why? Because the trade idea is invalid. Why? Because our take profit target already got hit, okay? So there's no more targets, no more trade, okay? 7-minute video. Like I said, really, really simple topic to grasp. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, leave them down below. This is going to be one of the last videos in the blueprint. I think it's going to be this one, and I'm going to talk one more time, and that'll be it. So if you guys want me to cover anything else, please, please, please either throw it in the Discord, DM me on TikTok, DM me in Discord, DM me on Instagram. Everything's LoeGpa. Discord link is in the description of this video. But please let me know before I end this series, because this series is coming to an end literally, I would say by Friday, the latest, if not after this video, which will be Friday. So yeah, please let me know anything else I can cover before the series ends. But yeah, we're nearing the end. I'm very proud of you guys, especially if you've watched every single video and stayed tuned the entire time. So with that being said, that'll be all for today's video. I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. Like I said, comment any other topics you guys want me to go over. I dropped a backtesting video yesterday. Go check that out if you guys don't know how to backtest, so on and so forth. But yeah, I'll catch y'all boys. About to go eat some Chipotle, so